Hey guys, this is Valley Fish and this is my Nebula Steel 29-gallon aquarium. It is dirted. It has been set up for a few years now. Currently, it's housing jungle vow, a few Amazon swords that are getting out-competed by the jungle vow, but it's mainly just to keep my guppy line going. We'll go through. I'll show you how I do the maintenance to keep the front part at least visible. And you'll see why I call it the jungle tank, because the jungle vow is taking over. So stay tuned and we'll go through it. Thank you. Okay, this is what the jungle looks like before I start trimming. You can barely see. I got an Amazon sword tucked back here. Pretty much getting outgrown by the jungle vow. I did plant a little runner right here, which is also buried in it. I do have a nice clear spot that I've been trying to keep. Just falling behind this, the jungle vow grows like crazy. So you can see it just does a little runner, and then it just takes over. So what I've been doing is going in and doing the best I can to keep the front half clear. In this corner I do have some crypts down in here, but you pretty much can't see them because of the jungle vow. But I'll try and go through and pick out and leave the crypts without chopping them off, but we'll go through and do quite a bit of maintenance. Anyways, I don't know if you can pick it up, but back there, it's pretty much just the jungle. Great for fry, not so great for viewing. So we'll go through, get it cleaned up. Liking that one right there. Looking good. I am noticing with this line that I was starting to get quite a bit more rattier tails on my males, and I was thinking it was just genetics that I needed to go through. But come to find out, these big females, when it's coming feeding time, them males with the big long shiny fins, they will grab a hold of them and rip them up pretty bad. So if you do see some of my males that look a little rough on their tails, that would be why. The females not doing so kind to them. They're chewing on them pretty hard. So it is interesting that the juveniles look really good, but then when they get to the adult, they look a little bit ratty, and that would be the female ain't being so nice to them. There's a lot of nice ones, but there is occasionally you're like, what happened? Kind of like this guy, a little chewed up. Great body though, but the fin's looking a little rough. Same with this guy. Great body, great color, and when he was younger, he would have had great fins. Otherwise, I would have removed him. But as they grew out, he got picked on a little bit. Weird with guppies. I didn't know that would happen, but I have seen it. Anyways, kind of like the look of this. What's nice is when you get all this heavy dense cover, it brings the fish out, especially the larger ones. And then when you drop in some food, you know, you can see that there's fry just everywhere down in here. So I'm not short on fry, but short on viewing space. If I was to ever redo this tank, I would have only dirted the back half. I would have put a piece of glass or plexiglass and siliconed it in and just done the half dirt. You know, and you can see I'm running, you know, full fingers width, whatever, of dirt and gravel substrate. As it gets towards the top, it turns into more of a blend, but you know, this down here is just pretty much a solid dirt. And you can see that's pretty good. It's picking that up. It just kind of slowly blends to gravel. But I just did clean the glass, so we will go through and I'll try and pull one of these more mature plants up and show you why I don't do that. But I'm going to go through with the scissors and just hack it all down. Try and leave the plants I like, go around them, but try and get it in order a little bit. These guys I'm going to clean off. You know, and from the filter back, there is, I think there's two crypts back there, but hardly ever see them. And then all that jungle val. And then there is a crenum that's actually growing in a glass jar back there that you never see. See if we can catch a view. The dog is eating right below me. So you can see right there, there is the crenum leaf sticking up and running there. It just gets buried. I'm surprised that it doesn't get out competed for light, but it makes it. It does its thing. Looks like there's another Amazon sword back here that I forgot about. I didn't even really remember. But I do like the top view of this tank. It is one of my yeah, I do believe it is my only open top aquarium. Just love the view of it. Constantly guppies at the top. It's really fun when you drop in some food. I'll do that. So this red val right here, you're like, wow, red val, that's amazing. It's just when I cut it last time, it floats to the top and turns bright red, and as it does that, it makes it really easy for me to pick it out. So I'll trim it all off, actually wait a day, and then most of it floats up, and then I'll remove it. I have almost completely eliminated the duckweed, but it's still battling. 1 or 2 pieces every day, but I will win. So anyways, this was the 29. Real fun tank. This is actually my very first guppy line. I've had it for a few years. I would like to say it's getting better. I do have some nice females like this one that has the dark fins. Pretty much just black. A little bit of sheen on her body. You know, I've seen a lot better on the internet. Just, that's not my line. That's about as good as my line gets right now. It used to not be that good, so I'm pretty happy that it's evolved to that. But the males I work on a lot. Never really selected the females. I needed to go through and do a reset and like pick her because she looks great, you know, and then go through. Like this one doesn't have a lot of fin color, so I wouldn't keep that one. Like this one. All these ones here, Blaine. Oh, quit fighting over the dog food. Anyways, another good male right there. All the males are really good. It's just some have the sheen, like that one, and some don't. But they all have good color. Like that one's got good color. It's just not, doesn't have all the sheen. So I need to do a reset of this tank, both male and female, it looks like. But really like it. I was trying to pick up another good female, but they're pretty rare. There's one over here. You can see she's got the. It might even be the same one. Who knows? There's more, like right there. Maybe not. Anyways, I don't know how many fish are in this tank. There's quite a few. It's really fun that when you clean it all out and then all of a sudden the fry come out, they're like, hey! You know, they're not used to being so exposed. They like the cover. Let's see. Let's see. My helpers are right underneath me. Not guppy food, and I've already fed them once. So they might not be that interested, but females are doing their swarm. Oh, quit fighting. Sorry for the shaky camera. Trying to chase the noodle down in frame. And of course, the jungle valve's gonna block it. We just wait a little bit longer, it'll pop out of there. But you can see there's a bunch of females. The males are a little hesitant to jump in the swarm. Hold them back just a little bit. Kind of reminds me of these two darks fighting over the dog pan. All at the top. I got the water level just unfortunately low, so it's kind of hard to get a good shot without picking up that. There's the noodle. It's actually, what is it? Large floating for cichlids, but I drop in a piece every day or every couple days. They like it and they chew it up pretty quick. Okay guys, so gonna try and do what I normally never do just so we can catch it on footage. So probably means I'll be doing an extra water change tonight, but trying to gently work it out. You can see pretty much making a mess, even though working it both ways. So anyway, it's got a nice plant, but you can see that it made the little dust cloud in my water. Luckily, there's such a heavy plant load in this tank, I won't have to worry about getting any algae bloom. I'm going to slide you just for a second. So these ones are quite a bit younger, so they shouldn't pull up quite as much dirt with them. But they're young enough plants that they're just breaking up. So there's one that, you know, maybe you could start in another tank. No, they just broke it. Kind of being a little more violent than I should, but you can see, yep, gonna need to do water change now. But anyways, I'm done playing that game. So what I normally do is I'll come in here and go chomp, and then go chomp. And I don't want to cut any guppies, so I got some pretty short little scissors. You're gonna hear the dogs growling and fighting over dog food in the background. Just ignore them. Rascal, stop. So anyways, going through, making a mess. But he said if I just do this through the front, and it keeps it to where I enjoy it more. But if you go through and just trim it off, I don't gotta make that big old cloud. So that's what I've been doing. I realized that, you know, probably could get some money from the local fish store by pulling it all up, but if you continue to do that, then you won't have the separation. You know, let's see if we can get it picked up. So I got one hand wet, but you can see how the gravel slowly turns into dirt the lower you go. So, but every time I pull up a plant, I lose a little bit of that cap. So, don't want to do that. Like I said, just going through, there's a stick, going through and chewing it off. And it'll grow back. And I'll probably eventually have to pull it out or do something. I thought about laying a piece of slate over it, and that would kill it off, so I wouldn't have to mess with it. But then the Malaysian trumpet snails wouldn't be able to sift through it like they do for food. You know, and that's beneficial. So this is what I've been doing. If anybody else has any jungle val in their dirted tank, let me know how you keep it under control. I'd be interested to know. About cut that. Yep, it's hard to tell on these little crypts if they're crypt or jungle val. So anyways, this one's like crib, jungle valve, it's all grown together. This. So the crib is losing and the jungle valve is winning on this one. Yeah, don't want to pull it up. So just do a snip right at ground level. Through. That's about as far back as I'll go. But in a lot of this stuff you can just trim it off, you know. So I can't separate out the crib and the jungle valve, just trim off the jungle valve. Rare viewing of my crinum back there. He's growing in a little jar. See if we can get that pick up a little better. Just trim off this. This one can go down here and get trimmed. Yeah, we'll get these two. Really open it up this time. Anyways, I don't know why I started putting that one in the jar, but it's done fairly decent. Haven't lost it. So you can see what it was before, what it is now. A little stirred up. Bad reflection. There you go. So you can see what it looks like now. Got it all cleared up. But I just go through and snip it off. Still got to do this side. But it's not looking too bad. A lot better than the overcrowded jungle valve. But you still got the background, which is just a solid mat of jungle valve. The jungle. Looking good. Alright guys, so hopefully you can pick up all that up top floating. But you can see I got it cleaned off all the way across the front. And I probably do this, oh, I don't know, maybe once a month, maybe twice, every 2 months, maybe somewhere in there. So I don't have to do it very often. But I do have to do it, and it is an annoyance. But you can see this is all the jungle valve that I trimmed. So it floats up there. And over the next few days, every time I feed, I'll try and fish it off the top. Not sure if you're catching that, but it's not a waste. I'll throw it in the old compost pile, so not wasting it, just reusing it in a different way. And you can see I went through and I trimmed some of my Amazon swords that were dying back. Whoop. Tried to catch a shot of that shrimp. He's running off. Anyways, for my intake, because I run a hang on the side that looks horrible, but anyways, I do a aqua clear replacement cartridge, and I just poke a hole in the side with the scissors and then shove the intake in it, and it doesn't ever plug off very often. I clean that, you know, on my off days when I'm not doing a water change. I try not to do them on the same day, but it works really well. Anyways, this is my 29 dirted. The jungle tank. Thanks for watching. Bye.